Everyone, a very good evening to all of you. And in this video, I shall try to discuss the part 1, chapter 2 of an autobiography written on Mahatma Gandhi. And the title of the autobiography is My Experiment with Truth. Okay, and the chapter 2 title, part 1, chapter 2 title is Childhood. So here Mahatma Gandhi's childhood is depicted. Means it was written in Gujarati, then it was translated into English. Got it? And here we will see the perspective, life incidents, and philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi and his experiment with truth. Okay, let's read. I must have been about 7 when my father left Porbandar for Rajkot to become a member of the Rajasthani court. Okay. There, I was put into a primary school, and I can well recollect those days, including the names and other particulars of the teachers who taught me. So here, I have nothing to explain. So therefore, I will just read it slowly so that it will keep in your mind what he has said or what he's written in the part 1, chapter 2 of an autobiography or My Experiments with Truth by Mahatma Gandhi. As at Porbandar, so here there is hardly anything to notice about my studies. I could only have been a mediocre student. So Mahatma Gandhi was too a mediocre student just like us, right? From this school, I went to the suburban school and thence to the high school. Having already reached my 12th year, I do not remember having ever told a lie during this short period, either to my teachers or to my schoolmates. So he was a very honest person who never speak a lie. I used to be very shy and avoided all company. So Mahatma Gandhi was a kind of introvert in his childhood time. So he was a very shy person and avoided all companions. My books and my lessons were my sole companions, and his books, whatever the books he reads in the school or whatever the books he has at the time. So he just read those things, and those were his sole companions. To be at school at the stroke of the hour and to run back home as soon as the school closed, that was my daily habit. So when you are studying in a school, at that time, that was one of the wonderful things of your life. So that is the thing the writer or the Mahatma Gandhi has tried to depict here, that whenever he has to go to school, at the time he go it happily, and when it is the time to leave school, then he do it very happily, and that was his daily habit. I literally ran back because I could not bear to talk to anybody. So he was so shy person that he could not bear to talk to anybody. Okay, when we were child, we do the same thing. I think very few of us who are kind of extrovert. Okay, I was even afraid lest anyone should poke fun at me. So he was also even afraid that someone will poke fun at him. There is an incident which occurred at the examination during my first year at the high school, and which is what recording. So here the writer is saying, or the Mahatma Gandhi is saying, that there was an incident that occurred at the examination during his first year at the school, and that was worth recording or worth mentioning here in this text. Mr. Giles, the educational inspector, had come on a visit of inspection. He had set us 5 words to write as a spelling exercise. Then one of the words was cattle. I had misspelled it, means Mahatma Gandhi had misspelled the word cattle. The teacher tried to prompt me with the point of his boot. So at that time, his teacher had tried to help him by pointing on from of his boot that you should write like this. But I wouldn't be prompted. But Mahatma Gandhi did not want that help. Okay, as he was a very honest person since born. That's why he's saying that I did not take the help of my teacher, despite knowing that this will have some bad impact on the school or on the educational inspection. It was beyond me to see that he wanted me to copy the spelling from my neighbor's slate, for I had thought that the teacher was there to supervise us against copying. So Mahatma is saying that actually teachers were teachers were there just to supervise the children. Okay, they are not there to tell that you should copy things from your neighbor's slate or your friend's slate. Okay, so that was Mahatma Gandhi's thinking. The reason was that all the boys except myself were forced to have spelled every word correctly. So after that, that teacher might have told him that you should now spell every word correctly. So that was his punishment. Only I had been stupid. The teacher tried later to bring this stupidity home to me, but without effect. I never could learn the art of copying. So Mahatma is saying that since my childhood, since my school days, this art of copying or art of telling lie or art of dishonesty has never entered in my heart or brain. So that's the thing that the writer has tried to mention here, or Mahatma Gandhi has tried to depict in his autobiography. Even means his teacher had discussed this thing in his household too, but despite that, he did not try to listen to them. Yet the incident did not in the least diminish my respect for my teacher. But Mahatma is saying that, but that incident did not decrease his respect for his teachers. Okay. I was by nature blind to the faults of elders. So Mahatma Gandhi is saying that by nature he was always blind to the faults of elders. Means if elders did some kind of fault things or mistake, then he just tried to ignore it if that is not so big. Later I came to know of many other failings of this teacher, but my regard for him remained the same. So later he has also got to know that that teacher which has told him to copy from the neighbor's slate about the word kettle, which he pronounced maybe wrongly or what. So later he got to know that that teacher had many shortcomings, but despite that, his respect, his regard for him remained the same throughout his life. Okay, so that kind of thing we should to have that kind of quality. So we can learn many things from Mahatma Gandhi. For I had learned to carry out the orders of elders, not to scan their actions. So Mahatma Gandhi is saying that he had learned to carry out the orders of elders, not to judge their actions, not to scan their actions. Okay. Two other incidents belonging to the same period have always clung to my memory. So here Mahatma Gandhi is saying that two other incidents belonging to the same period have always clung into his memory. As a rule, I had a distaste for any reading beyond my school. So Mahatma Gandhi is saying that when he was in school, he did not want to read book apart from his syllabus. The daily lessons had to be done because I disliked being taken to task by my teacher as much as I disliked deceiving him. So he is saying that he disliked or he does not like to deceive his teachers. So he always does his homework. Therefore, I would do the lesson, but often without my mind in them. Thus, when even the lesson could not be done properly, there was, of course, no question of any extra reading. But somehow, my eyes fell on a book purchased by my father. It was Sravana Pitri Bhakti Nataka, a play about Sravana's devotion to his parents. So we all have heard about the Sravana's devotion for his parents, right? He has carried his parents in his arm. So that book he has read from his father. Okay. And I read it with intense interest. So Mahatma Gandhi is saying that he had read that book in a very intense excitement and enthusiasm. There came to our place about the same time itinerant showmen. So at that time, in their place, an itinerant showman too came. Then what happened? One of the pictures I was shown was of Sravana crying, and then in that itinerant showman device, you can also watch or look at the picture. So at that time, Mahatma Gandhi was shown of Sravana crying by means of sling fitted for his soldiers, due to, as I have already told you, that he had carried his parents in his soldiers. That made him cry maybe. His blind parents on a pilgrimage. So he was taking his parents to a pilgrimage. Okay. The book and the picture left an indelible impression on my mind. So that incident and that book and that picture had an indelible impact on Mahatma Gandhi's mind. Here is an example for you to copy, I said to myself. So Mahatma Gandhi talked to himself that this is the example you should also use in your life. You should also apply and you should also try to use it. Okay? So that kind of thing, he was motivated and inspired by the Shravan. This thing you all can mention in your exam. Then what happened? I said to myself, then the agonized lament of the parents over Shravana's death is still fresh in my memory. So actually Shravana, the agonized lament of the parents over Shravana's death is still fresh in my memory. So Shravan, he died. How that I cannot tell you now because I have not read his life story, or if you know them, please let me know in the comment section. Not only I, many other people too will to know about that. So he was dead, means he left this world, and at that time his parents they cried, and that lament, that agony that had really disturbed our young Mahatma Gandhi when he was in his childhood, when he was in school. So that thing is still fresh inside his memory or brain. The melting tune moved me deeply, and I played it on a concertina which my father had purchased for me. So his father had purchased him a concertina. Maybe it is a musical instrument. I don't know. If you know then too, you can mention it. So that thing he has played with the inspiration of this Sravana. Okay, and that melting tune has really moved him deeply to our Mahatma Gandhi. There was a similar incident connected with another play. Just about this time, I had secured my father's permission to see a play performed by a certain dramatic company. So here Mahatma Gandhi is saying that he had somehow secured his father's permission to see a play performed by a certain dramatic company, and that play has really moved him over there. And this play was Harish Chandra. So that play was Harish Chandra, and that has really captured our young Mahatma Gandhi's heart. Then he's saying, I could never be tired of seeing it. So he was never tired of seeing it. But how often should I be permitted to go? It haunted me, and I must have acted Harishchandra to myself times without number. So he's saying that when he was a child, he took permission from his father to see Harishchandra, that drama. And after that, he was continuously going to see or to watch that theater or sorry that play, and it really haunted him that he must have acted Harishchandra himself times without number. So he's saying, why should not all be truthful like Harishchandra? Was the question I asked myself day and night. So Mahatma Gandhi is saying that why all the people of this world is not as truthful as Harishchandra. We all know Harishchandra was a great king, and he was a Hindu king, and he was very truthful. So he has given all his property maybe in donation, if I'm not wrong. So that thing really inspired him, and that question he always asks day and night, that why people are not truthful like Mahatma Gandhi or like Harishchandra. To follow truth and go through all the ordeals Harishchandra went through was the one ideal it inspired in me. So that thing has really inspired him, that how Harishchandra has gone through the truth. And I literally believe in the story of Harishchandra. So Mahatma Gandhi is saying that he has really believed in the story of Harishchandra, and the thought of it all often made me weep. So that story or that thought of Harishchandra really makes him weep. Okay, so he was sometimes tears comes out from his eyes. Okay. Due to that thought. My common sense tells me today that Harishchandra could not have been a historical character. Still, both Harishchandra and Shravana are giving realities for me, and I'm sure I should move as before if I were to read those plays again today. So here, the right Mahatma is saying that if I read those plays right now, then too, I will feel the same poignant feeling, and it will utterly move me. So that thing he has said. So as it is autobiography, you will get all the perspective, all the incidents, all the memory, all the thinking related to that person. Here, Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, that's it. This is the part 1 and second chapter, and there are I think 9 chapters. So I will try to bring one by one video of all the chapters, and I hope this video will help you. I have tried to give you a little insight, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching the video. Bye bye.